everyone, and welcome into another episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. My name is Josh Albrecht, and with me, as always, is...
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht.
That's right, Josh Albrecht and Josh Albrecht. And it is our 100th episode.
Ding, 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 ding.
100 of these, and what better way to celebrate than with the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee herself, Peggy Williams-Smith. Peggy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for finally having me on. I mean, it took 100 episodes to get here.
100.
It was pre-planned. We said, look, for episode 100, when we were on number one,
Did
Did you think it was going to be funded through 100 episodes?
we knew that this would be a new bastion of intelligent conversation
Yes.
for the great citizens of Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
We absolutely assumed when we did episode 1 that this would be where we were
Yes.
100 episodes later.
Definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Peggy, I thought this would be a great time to first just remind our audience of how we got here and then kind of get your perspective of what you thought when Josh came to you with this idea. So, for those that don't know, the way that Joshing Around Milwaukee came to be was I, Josh Albrecht, sent a Facebook request to 4 other Josh Albrechts back in 2009, and they were from all over. And a few of them accepted, never talked to him, moved on. And then a decade later, there was a press release that came out from Visit Milwaukee that said, Visit Milwaukee hiring new marketing director, whatever it was, Josh Albrecht. And people were like, oh, did you get a new job? And I went, no, what are you guys talking about? And then I see the press release, and there's a very nice, headshot.
Very handsome man.
To it.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, my God, I know this guy. And it had been one of the Josh Albrechts that I had sent a Facebook friend request to a decade earlier, just happened to make his way here.
Did he accept the friend request?
He did.
Of course.
He
Oh,
was
he
one.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had never talked. We literally never talked.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and I just sent him a message on Facebook that said, dude. And he said, I know. Yeah. And we met, we had a bowl of chili and a beer, and we said, we got to do something. This is crazy. And we came up with the idea for Joshing Around Milwaukee. And
look at us now.
And look at us now. But I was curious, because that was very early in your tenure with Visit Milwaukee, how you presented that to Peggy and the rest of the team. I have an idea here.
Well, every time I signed a separate check to Josh Albrecht, I'm like, you need to put some other words around this so that people don't think I'm paying you on top of what I'm paying you. Yes.
That's why we started calling you the other Josh Albrecht.
Yeah.
But that's not how the check can get made out to the other Josh
That's
Albrecht.
also correct.
Yes.
Please do not change that.
We don't share middle names, so that does help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we get asked that a lot. But I always just thought, and I've never heard the story of just presenting the idea. It was just one day Josh told me, hey, we're running. We're going to do it. Of, hey, Peggy, there's this other guy that shares my name.
I don't think he ever told me. Mm-hmm. I think he just started doing it. And I didn't know until I signed that first check. And actually, that's how a lot of things happen.
Brilliant. I'm so proud of you. This might not have ever happened if you would have asked for permission.
And I'm not just saying that because Peggy is here, but that's why Visit Milwaukee is able to do so many great things, though, is that Peggy is the furthest thing from a micromanager. She trusts her team to make great decisions, to do great things like cool content like this for the community, or go after great business for the Baird Center or whatever other task that we're looking to do. And that autonomy to make great decisions for the community is why we have so much success as a team. So, yes.
And I have watched the show. I do think this is a great way for us to highlight what our partners are doing. We're an organization, we're storytellers. That's what we do. And telling the stories through our partners is a great way to, make that message go further. I also have watched the show, and I know people bring candy and food.
You know how to get to Josh's heart.
So I made this myself. I just put it in this box.
Get out
so
of
I
town,
brought some.
seriously?
Made yourself.
I did not. I stopped. You saw me. You literally saw me standing at the candy shop.
Listen, I
buying
don't know.
it as you walked by.
I'm very gullible. Yeah. I'm not. If you say you make
yet
it,
another
absolutely.
partner. So I did bring some sweets for you, so that you would treat me kindly on the show.
Very, very smart.
Yeah,
because
she obviously watched
exactly
the Sazes. She obviously watched the Sazes episode where you ate a giant platter of.
Broke the record for most mozzarella sticks ate while doing a radio show.
Yeah. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Mm-hmm. Incredible. Yeah. All right, so Peggy, really quick here, for those that don't know you, kind of tell your story of how you got here and what you've all accomplished with Visit Milwaukee.
Sure. So I've been here my entire life. I'm born and raised in Milwaukee. except for a few, stray years in other places. I started working downtown almost 30 years ago with Marcus Hotels and Resorts. I was there for 22 years. I loved my time with Marcus. I started at the Hilton, worked at the Pfister, helped open the Intercontinental, which then became the St. Kate, and I helped open the St. Kate. I did a couple years at a country club, which is now the Wisconsin Country Club, and I also spent some time with Safe House. So when Marcus bought the Safe House brand here in Milwaukee, we decided to open a second location in Chicago. So I opened that location in 2017. I started with Visit Milwaukee in 2019. I've always loved the city. I always thought that being able to sell the city would be a dream job. And it has absolutely been a dream job, save maybe the first couple of months coming in because COVID hit pretty quickly after I started.
Right.
But this job has allowed me to get to know what makes Milwaukee so special. I always knew it was special, but I couldn't articulate it. And I think a lot of people throughout the community don't know how to articulate what makes Milwaukee so great. And our job is to help them to find and formulate those words so that Milwaukee's no longer a best kept secret.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, to your point, Josh, like there are a lot of different ways to be able to accomplish that goal, and I do think what we do here is a unique way that highlights the businesses and those individual business owners because they all have stories to tell as well, not
Right.
just promoting their business, but how they got here, and the amount of stories that you hear of people who, whether it be a different state or we've even had a few guests that are different countries that had an opportunity and went, I picked Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the big things we like to highlight on Joshing Around is just that people are making those decisions to come here, not just for a week, although please do come and check us out for a week, but to settle down, start a family, and really, change the entire outlook of their life. And we're really happy to be able to share those stories. I want to get into just kind of specifically what Visit Milwaukee does. If you've been listening or watching Joshing Around for a while, you've seen the other Josh Albrecht. See how I enjoy that. Having a lot of fun and interviewing a lot of different businesses and guests over the years. But we really haven't dove into what exactly Visit Milwaukee does. We're going to get to that when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having a great time with Peggy Williams-Smith, the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee. As you may or may not know, Joshing Around is a product of Visit Milwaukee. And so, Peggy, I thought, let's just take a minute to tell people what exactly it is that Visit Milwaukee does for the city of Milwaukee.
We sell the city. We brand the city. We market the city. It's as simple as that. There is no one else that does the job of what we do. So, there's many different facets to what we do. So we have a sales team that is on the road, probably 35 out of 52 weeks a year, talking to meeting planners, owners of associations, association managers, CEOs of companies, and they're talking about bringing their meeting or event here to Milwaukee. We have a sports sales team that is out at different trade shows talking to sports rights holders to make sure that we can host the first and second rounds of the NCAA or that we can host Banana Ball like we are this summer. We also have a marketing team led by Josh Albrecht Sr., who is creating and talking about the brand, what Milwaukee is, how we should talk about Milwaukee, making sure that people all over the country and the world see Milwaukee. They see them in magazines, on lists. And, some people may think those lists are frivolous, but it's the way that we're seen in places that we typically wouldn't show up. So that's part of Josh's team, along with Claire, who leads our communications team. They're talking to travel writers. They're talking to influencers who are coming in all the time. We're forming partnerships with worldwide organizations that can help amplify the message of what we want to share about Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, it's been awesome talking about some to local businesses here, but it wasn't until actually I was bringing in a group of, if you ever watch the show and don't just listen on the radio version, you see I wear a lot of goofy shirts, and I had a lot of friends that also wear goofy shirts, and I brought them in, and I was trying to figure out where I was going to have them all stay and trying to plan their trip to Milwaukee, and Josh goes, that's what we do.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
and I was like, and obviously I know who you are, I talked to, but I didn't, there's so much that Visit Milwaukee does. It's not just, hey, look at this new, dog park that's open. That's important, and that's part of it, but that's not all of it. And I just think it's awesome that's the case. Can you tell us a little bit? Sorry, go ahead.
Let's talk just a little bit about that, because you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that at a granular level, that's what we do. So after we're out talking about how great Milwaukee is, we then talk with meeting planners. They come to us. That means anyone. That means if you're planning a family reunion, if you're planning a wedding here in Milwaukee, you can come to us. We can send out a lead to all of our partners, get all of that information neatly packaged for you, give it back to you, and then allow you to make the decision that's right for you. And we do that at no charge. That's part of what Visit Milwaukee does. And then we also welcome visitors who may not have used us to come here. So if there's a group that booked directly through a hotel and they call us and they want welcome signs or a welcome desk in the hotel that they're staying at, or if they want us to provide them with official visitors guides so they have more information, we do all of that as well.
Do you have a story or an example of an event or maybe a specific person or group that ended up coming to Milwaukee because they went through the channels of Visit Milwaukee? Is there one that sticks out to you guys?
All of them. I mean, literally, that is what we do every single day. There's certain groups that make a bigger impact and that create a bigger splash across the region, the state. RNC, the Republican National Convention,
that was huge.
is one of those. And that started with a RFP that came to our offices asking whether or not we wanted to bid on the 2024 convention. At the time, it was 2022. We were coming out of COVID. We were still in high recovery mode. I reached out to the then mayor and said, is this something you want to do? He said, heck yeah. We didn't get a chance to host the DNC. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. And we were in the process of building and expanding, modernizing and expanding the convention center, the Baird Center. And we thought, what a better way, if we can get this would be the first large-scale event that would be hosted in the new convention center. And what a better way to showcase that beautiful $456 million expansion than to showcase it on the world stage during the Republican National Convention. So that one definitely does stick out a little bit.
Yeah.
Bringing Top Chef to Milwaukee, that was huge. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I realized how huge it was. I'm very fortunate. I'm not just saying that because Josh Albrecht Sr. is here. But the team came to me probably back in 2022 as well. And remember, this is a time when we're not making as much money from a revenue perspective, because we are funded based on room tax dollars. And coming out of COVID, it wasn't as robust as it could have been. And they came to me and they really wanted to do Top Chef. And I was really, really not on board. I had done TV shows before in my previous roles where I thought it would be the golden egg that would make the restaurant or the hotel incredibly successful, and it didn't work. So I challenged them and they said, Peggy, we really need to do this. This is not what you did. This is not, Mario Lopez coming into the restaurant. This is a much bigger scale. And when we did the premiere show, which they had not done a premiere for Top Chef since the first season of Top Chef, and this was season 21, just sitting in the room, the full weight of what the team had accomplished was so overwhelming because I saw what we were going to see on TV and how it was going to change how people viewed Milwaukee from a culinary perspective. And it was just overwhelming to see what the team had put together.
Yeah, both those events, Josh, put a light on Milwaukee that wasn't there before, and an international light too. So the previous season to Top Chef for us was London. So you go from Top Chef London to Top Chef Milwaukee, that says something, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why these big impact events and these big impact marketing buys that shine the light on us in such a profound way are so important to changing the narrative that we're a city to be reckoned with in many ways. When we redid our brand, it was we needed to pound our own chest more. That's what we heard from our own residents. The city needed to celebrate itself in a more profound way. And these two events are just two examples of how we're doing that now.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that all the time about just people that either you grew up here or you're a transplant to Milwaukee, but there's a sense of pride about being from Milwaukee or living in Milwaukee to where you get excited when you see it on a national level and you go, hey, that's my city. They're talking about my city. And yeah, those events were incredible. And I know you guys do a ton of that, and we'll get to a few more in a minute. But I want to also point out that it's not like you just set it up, right? I remember for the RNC, I couldn't even see Josh. I mean, you were on your phone constantly taking care of people that were coming in. It's getting the event, the idea down on paper, getting it approved, getting it funded, getting them here, then running the event, making sure the event goes well, that the city is being shown correctly in the light that we want it to be, from literally start to finish. And you guys are a part of the whole thing. It's not just we set it up and then we go, all right, you're having your event at this place. Now they'll take care of you from here.
Yeah, I mean, Peggy told you, moment one, the RFP landed on her desk. From that moment to its conclusion, and still now, it's part of the ecosystem, and we've been there every step of the way.
Yeah, and so that was one example. There's plenty more examples we'll get to in a minute, plus some things that you can do, whether you be a business owner or, as Peggy mentioned, maybe someone that is thinking about doing an event here in Milwaukee. We're going to give you details on how to be a part of what Visit Milwaukee does when we come back on Joshing Around Milwaukee. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We are having an awesome time with the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, Peggy Williams-Smith. Peggy, before the break, I'd said let's talk about a few more of these examples of things that, whether you live in Milwaukee or maybe if you don't, you still heard about the events being held in Milwaukee. What other events have stuck out, and also what are maybe some upcoming ones that people should be aware, hey, that's Visit Milwaukee. They did that.
So not every event is something that Visit Milwaukee does, but we help to amplify those things. One example is the summer of 2021, right? The Milwaukee Bucks winning the championship was such a watershed moment for our city, 50 years in the making, Giannis, all of that. And it was so incredibly prideful to be somewhere else watching what was happening in Deer District, and having my peers from around the country being very new to my role saying, where is that? And I'm like, that's my city. It did so much for our city. And as a request, we're behind pace in May and June. So we're hoping that they can do that again 5 years later now, maybe pull off a playoff run for us.
Miracle run.
It'd be a heck of a miracle
run with the Bucks. No pressure at all. But we hosted the long track championships for speed skating at the Pettit Center in January. It was the precursor. They qualified for the Olympics. Jordan Stolz was there. Yeah. So we had people from all over the world who are now in Milan, or were in Milan. I don't know if that part is over right now, doing speed skating here. We're hosting USA Wrestling again, which is incredible for us. Hosted it for the first time last year. First time wrestling had been held here in Milwaukee from a national perspective. We also, this summer, have the USA Triathlon. We have athletes from all over the country that come to Milwaukee. They love being here. They race right on the lakefront. They're able to have an amazing backdrop while they're competing. And it's amazing to be at the finish line for the triathlon. It's something that I look forward to. I've done it now for four times. And you see just the look and the feeling that these people have when they cross that finish line. And it's people from all walks of life, all body shapes, all sizes, all athletic abilities. And it's just amazing to watch. And we get to host it here. And then there's a few other things that Josh Albrecht Sr. will not let me talk about on the air, but pay attention to Visit Milwaukee in April and May. You will not be disappointed.
Ooh, I like that. We like a good tease.
Nice teaser, for sure.
Obviously, I love that. I love the examples, because if you're listening or you're watching right now, like, it's just talking about how it can be something as big as a triathlon and all these people coming in to a new business that opens up, to where you went, maybe it was post-COVID and you are making a completely new life change, and you went, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to open a business. Working with Visit Milwaukee can help that business be sustainable and profitable and thrive in comparison if you didn't utilize Visit Milwaukee. So can we talk a little bit quick, Peggy, just about the ways, if people want to get involved and utilize everything that Visit Milwaukee does, how they do that, and how you guys help those businesses?
Sure. So www.visitmilwaukee.org, start there. right? If you live here and you want to figure out what to do this weekend, if you want to know what concerts are happening, if you want to know what arts and culture are happening, go to our website. We are the receptacle for everything that happens in the city, from arts and culture to community events, right? If you want to be involved in your community, we have community events on that page as well. If you are looking to be involved with Visit Milwaukee as a partner, we bring in a lot of groups, and those groups stay at hotels and they use our convention center, or if it's a sporting event, maybe they use Fiserv or they use Pettit. But we also have groups that need restaurant reservations, private dining rooms, event venues. They need exciting things to do. They need all of those different types of things. And a lot of times they start with us. They start with the Visit Milwaukee website. So reach out to us. If you are a new business and you're struggling to find business, we will do everything we can to try to help you to become more visible. We get almost 9.5 million views on our website every year. We are out talking to people all the time, not just in our role, but just personally. I think every member of our team is the official concierge for their friend group, because we know what's new, we know what's hot, we know what's exciting in the city. And if you want to be part of that, we make sure that we're communicating with you on a weekly basis in many different ways, as well as communicating with the outside world about what's happening here.
And there's so many different things, and Josh, we talk about it every time, every week when we're able to do an episode. But it's truly, there's so many different businesses and different ideas in this city. So many amazing things to experience and enjoy in the city of Milwaukee. And we have these business owners on, and when they say like, oh, and it was just so awesome when you guys helped us do this, or you'll say like, oh, and then at trade shows we're giving away socks, or these waters, or take your pick of different things. It's just awesome to see the community involvement and truly just the benefit to everyone, whether it be the business owner, the customer, or just someone that lives in the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah, celebrating the city is what we do. Peggy said that earlier, right? Like we sell the city, we talk about the city, we market the city, and it just comes simple as that. Like we just love to tell the stories of our partners. That's what this show's all about, and that's what we're about every day.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Peggy, thank you so much for joining us and for continuing to allow Josh and myself do what we do here with Joshing Around. It's a blast, and we're hoping to continue to grow, help the city grow, and have Milwaukee continue to thrive.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee. As always, for more information, go to visitmilwaukee.org. We'll see you next time. All right, everyone. If you're seeing this part of today's episode of Joshing Around Milwaukee, it's because you're watching or listening on one of Visit Milwaukee's social media platforms, and we do truly appreciate that. We are having an awesome time with Peggy Williams-Smith, the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee. Peggy, this is the toughest question that gets asked in any interview, and that's why I let Josh do it. Josh, take it away.
Thank you so much. So at Visit Milwaukee, you know this very well. We talk about the city, we brand the city, and one of the things we like to say is that Milwaukee has so much energy right now, more than ever, really. We call this fresh city vibes. What is giving you fresh city vibes right now?
So, first of all, it's hard for me to pinpoint one thing. We have over 1,000 partners, and for me to pinpoint one thing, I think would be very irresponsible. So I will give you a longer answer than you probably want. I love to eat out. Our culinary scene is unmatched. Mm-hmm. It's unrivaled. We are on a high note right now. New restaurants that are coming in. We just had an announcement by Paul Bartolotta that they're opening High Steaks by Bartolotta on Water Street. I went to Cassis a few weeks ago. It was fantastic. Just the French restaurant. They had a beef tartare that was out of this world. We have Adam Siegel, who's opening a new restaurant, a new Italian restaurant that will happen this year. I was just speaking with someone who was here for the first time. They were in Bayview last night. They were eating at Good Kind. They went over to Esterev. Like, we just have a wealth, an embarrassment of wealth when it comes to talented culinarians and restaurateurs in this city. I was also at the announcement of the lineup for Summerfest. And I have to tell you, it was fantastic, right? It is 9 days. And now you add on the 2 extra days because they have Garth Brooks coming in, and they made the announcement, if you have a Garth Brooks ticket, you get a ticket to go to Summerfest. But the lineup is fantastic. 180 acts over 9 days with music stacked from noon to midnight every day. And it's
a lot of 80s rockers too for you.
Not enough 80s rockers, but that's okay. I'm not the main target, and I appreciate that. I was struggling with some of the names that I saw, but I know Styx is going to be there, so I'm good with that.
I'll see you at Styx. I'll be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think everyone will be at Styx. But you also look at it from the what it does for the city. It's the most affordable music festival in the country. The most affordable music festival in the country. City of Festivals is just something that, I get excited for every year. Every single weekend there's something to do at the lakefront, but our festivals are year round. We have the Milwaukee Film Festival. We have Frost Fest coming up. We just had Mitten Fest. So our festivals aren't just in the summer, they're throughout the year. Our arts and culture scene is unmatched. We have more theater seats per capita than any other city in the United States. At any given time, you can catch a show, see a comedian, go see Broadway across America, catch a show at the Rep, $80 million renovation to the Rep. Unbelievable. Thomas Dambo Troll in Wauwatosa, Mama Rosa. There's so much that gives us fresh city vibes that it's hard to pinpoint just one.
There's a ton. There's an absolute ton to celebrate. And I got to say, it's just, living in Milwaukee almost my whole life, right? Just a couple of years not here. It's seeing how the city has continued to grow, especially in the last couple of years, has been awesome. And the new places and celebrating the places that are celebrating anniversaries, too, has been great. So appreciate those answers and appreciate you coming on and joining us today, Peggy.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching us today on Joshing Around Milwaukee. As I mentioned before, for more information, go to visitmilwaukee.org. We'll see you next time.
'Cause 2 Joshes are better than 1.